Hey guys, it's the Plum Dot here and welcome back to my channel for part 2 of The Artisan. If you guys haven't watched part 1, I will boop that up in the top right corner for you guys so you guys can go and check that out if you like. So for part 2, we are here on the lower level, and the lower level consists of the kitchen, dining room, study, living room, and a half bathroom. So as with all of my builds, we are starting in the kitchen just because I feel like that's a very good place to start in a home. But we will be popping between the kitchen and the dining room just because it is an open plan. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my voice is a little bit croaky. Yes, I am sick, and I'm going to blame public transport on my sickness. I do travel a lot for work, and so I think I picked up a bug on the train. So I do apologize for my croaky voice, but I wanted to get the next part of the Artisan up for you guys to check out. So if you guys haven't watched part 1, I'll just give you a little backstory. This is for the August Build and Share Challenge, and if you guys aren't aware what the Build and Share Challenge is, it's the longest running build challenge in the Sims community that's run on the Sims forums, and they also do challenges for Sims 4 along with Sims 3. So like I did in the first video, I will link the links to the threads in case anybody would like to check them out and participate. They are already on the September challenge, so you guys have plenty of time to get your builds in and participate and have a chance to get feedback. If you're just learning to build, or if you're an intermediate builder or an advanced builder, it is a lot of fun and it breeds a great sense of community. So here we are in the kitchen, and I really wanted to continue with the neutral tones. So the cabinets are white, although the central ones do change to a blue. I used a lot of blue in this build, and I used it as an accent color, but mostly you're going to see grays, whites, and other little pops of color. But I thought the kitchen was a little bit too white, so I do end up, like I said, changing the central island into a blue just to contrast a little bit. Now, I really love the look of butcher block countertops. If ever I was to design my own house, I would have butcher block countertops because I just think they look pretty darn awesome. So I didn't clutter this up as much as I normally do, which is a bit strange for me. There's not a lot of CC in this house, and there's not a lot of clutter. I just wanted it to be quite homey, but not cluttery. So that's what I was going for with this particular build. I don't think I put anything else on the countertops. I think this is just how it stays. So you can see me going in right now, putting in those pops of blue color, and I did change the curtains to a blue, but I believe off camera I go and change them to a white with a dotted pattern on them, just because I thought there was too much different shades of blue in the kitchen. And I had an idea that this family would have an animal, and I wanted them to have a cat. So there is some kitty stuff littered throughout the kitchen, the half bath, the study, and the living room. Pretty much everywhere on the lower level except for the dining room, there's something for the cat. So as you can see, I've changed the island to that blue color, and it does stay like that. I really like the contrast with the white, and just going through and putting some lighting over the island. Now, I really love mixing and matching dining room chairs. I think it gives it sort of a shabby chic type of look. That's what I was kind of going for. So I really like how this dining room turns out. It's not mega big, but it's really, really cozy, and I just think it would suit a family of 4. Now, as you can see, I'm using my favorite rug, which I've probably used in every build that I put up on my channel, and it's just because I like how the texture goes when you make it the same color. It actually looks like a texturized rug. And I've just put in sort of a window, it's not seating obviously because you can't sit on it, but like a window ledge, because I just had the thought that, do you remember the days when, well, probably not, I don't even remember these days, it's from like the 1950s, where housewives would put pies on the window ledges so that the smell would waft outside and entice people inside. That's what I wanted to do with that pie there on that ledge. So I use a lot of columns in this build. I don't really use a lot of columns in my build. I really wanted to try something different with the Artisan because it is a family home. So I don't know, I just thought the columns made really, really good accents. Now I'm just going through trying to find the perfect piece to put on the wall, and as something always does, it took me quite a while to figure out which painting that I wanted, but I did decide on this, the feathered one. And now I'm just going through with the wall colors. I knew I didn't want a pattern on the wall, I just wanted to keep it quite neutral. So I go with a light sort of grayish blue, and I think that really ties in with the white and the blue of the countertops. So over in this corner next to sort of the cat bowl, I end up putting in a little coffee station, and I know I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but I end up putting in this little coffee station because I just thought it was a cute little corner to have. And then I'm going through right now looking for the jar of cookies that came with the bakery set, I think. And one of my favorite tricks is to hide this store content because it's a shelving unit, and there's like a it's not a canister, but like a teapot on it. I like to hide it up inside the cabinet so all you can see are the cups. So it looks like the cups are hanging from the bottom of the cabinets, and I just think that's a really, really cool touch. So I'm just putting in the final details in the kitchen and the dining room, and we're going to move on to the front living room. So I knew going in that I wanted a fireplace in here, and it's not a very, very big space. I actually think the office is bigger than the living room, but again, I wanted it to give off the feeling of comfort and coziness, just somewhere where after a meal the whole family could go and sit together and cozy up by the fire and watch some TV. And then towards the end, I actually end up putting in some toys for the cat because, like I said, this is a family home and the cats need to be made to feel like part of the family. So I noticed something when I was watching the video back before I actually started doing the voiceover. The armchair that's in there, which I seem to use in every one of my builds, it is one of my favorites. It's from the University expansion pack, but it starts out lime green. And I don't even like the color lime green. I don't even know why I automatically go to that color, but it starts out lime green and I leave it there for a minute, and then I'm like, lime green is not really an autumnal color, so I do end up changing it. But I just made myself laugh that I tend to go with the same type of idea. So I moved away from the lime green because I really, really wanted to switch it up. But this is really how the layout of the front room stays. And I just think it's really, really comfy and cozy. You've got the rocking chair there, and you've got a 3-seater sofa, and there's just plenty of room for all of the family. So if your kids want to have friends over, they can. There's room to hang out and chill and just have a very, very good time. I love this house. I love how it's turned out, and I would love to live in a place like this. I just think it's very, very beautiful. And so before we move on, I've got to tell you guys again, I am so excited. It may not sound like it. It may sound like I'm quite monotone at the moment just because I'm sick, but I'm going home in less than 2 weeks. My best friend is getting married and I am so excited. I'm a bridesmaid, and when I tried on my dress about a month ago when my friend shipped it over here, it fit. But for some reason, because the weather's turned cold, I've started eating like a pig. I've been comfort eating, so I've probably put on weight since I tried on my dress, so I need to nip that in the bud. Otherwise, I'm gonna be busting at the seams when I'm dancing, and I wouldn't be surprised if I split my dress, and what a story that would be. But I wouldn't put it past myself, so I need to stop eating and stuffing my face, or else it's not a good look. And there's that lime green chair. Like, it honestly doesn't fit. I don't know what I was thinking by putting lime green in this room. It just doesn't work. And especially since the walls are green at the moment, I do end up turning them into a more of a red color. It's really pink right now, but I noticed when I went to take pictures how pink it was, so I do end up changing it to a darker red, which you'll see in the screenshots of part 3. So I wanted to go there. I've changed the chair now, and it stays that sort of pumpkin orange color, which I really love, because pumpkin spice lattes, roasted pumpkin seeds. I'm so excited carving pumpkins. I haven't carved pumpkins in an age, but I always used to win the family competitions that we had when I was growing up, and we had all my nieces and nephews over to my parents' house because we would have pumpkin carving contests, and I always won, but that was probably because I was older than my nieces and nephews, so I guess it wasn't really a fair competition, but I'm a little bit competitive. But it's quite sad you've got like an adult competing with 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. Yeah, that's me. But Halloween, I'll admit, Halloween's not my favorite holiday. Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday, but when we used to have the pumpkin carving competitions, it would be down in my parents' basement, and my mom would always make chili pie, and oh my god, my mom is a cook. I'm sad to say that I never took interest or picked up on my mom's cooking skills, but she is amazing. And whenever I go home, she knows exactly what I want. So there will be cinnamon rolls, there will be Rice Krispie treats, there will be chocolate chip cookies waiting for me on my arrival. And you better believe that her pantry will have Captain Crunch with berries. Yes, I'm still a child at heart. I love Captain Crunch with berries. So we're just in the study here, and I'm going through and recoloring everything. This is really what the layout is for this room. It's just sort of a relaxation reading area. I wanted to have the built-ins on either side of the window and a little chess table. There's the space for the cat to hang out in, and that's pretty much the office. But I like how it's open to the living room, so it's kind of all one space, and there's really good sight lines throughout this little room. And I've got another green chair in there. Honestly, green is not my favorite color, but it is in every one of my builds. I don't know what it is with green. I think it's because last year I went through an olive green phase where I asked for everything olive green for Christmas. I got an olive green snood. My favorite football team is green and blue, so I got a beanie of the Seahawks, and yeah, I just went through a very green phase. And for yellow being my favorite color, I actually don't wear a lot of it. Now, another thing that I wanted to say, these floors that you see, they're really busy. So in part 3, you're going to see me switch them up because I just thought it was a bit too much. And like I said in part 1, the floors are only one of 2 bits of CC that I use in this build. So sadly, these diagonal shaped floors do go, and I use sort of a wider plank because I just thought it worked better with the type of house that I was going for. And another funny thing that, well, it wasn't really funny, but something that happens in part 3, which happened off camera, so actually not in part 3, is that I wanted to change up the stairs, but for some reason it wouldn't fit back into that little slot that it was, so I ended up bulldozing half of the kitchen and the little coffee area so I could get the stairs that I wanted in there, because I didn't really like the stairs that I had, so I had to switch them up. But it was an absolute pain. I demolished the entryway and demolished half of the kitchen, but thankfully that was all off camera, because otherwise I probably would have left it in so you guys could see my crazy creative process. But I am quite proud of myself. Like, I haven't had any pattern problems. It's not been a lot of indecision. I pretty much knew what I wanted to do for the Artisan, and that could also be because I built and rebuilt this house several times. I'm not even kidding. I can't even tell you how many times I demolished this and started over. It was a real pain in the patella, but I think it turns out really, really great. And like I said, it's one of my most favorite builds. There's not a lot left, just the entryway and the bathroom. For some reason I like to end on the bathroom, so I think I'm going to love you and leave you guys with some music. If you enjoyed part 2 of the Artisan, make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think, and if you guys aren't already subscribed and you like what you see, why don't you go ahead and hit that button. Don't be a plum stranger now, guys. Bye!